Now it's working.
So do we not participate?
Okay. No, you are going to participate, and it's already a recording, so.
So don't say anything?
I'm going to ask you questions, okay, and you're going to listen, right? All right, so linear equations, okay? What does linear mean?
Line.
Line, okay, so it means it's going to go in a straight line, right? All right. What else do we know about linear? Y'all did linear equations last year. It has a slope and a y-intercept. Okay. So it has a slope and a y-intercept. All right. Unless it is a horizontal line or a vertical line. Okay. And I'm about to tell you which one has a slope and which one does not. Okay. All right. So number 1 says fill in the table and graph y equals 3. Okay. So where do you think y equals 3 is going to be? Make this just a tad bit bigger. Okay. Where's y equals 3? Somebody tell me. Am I going up 3 or am I going over 3? Going up 3. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to draw a straight line. Probably not, but. Alright, so are all of my y values going to be the same or are they going to change? Okay, so what is my y value going to be? 3. Okay, for all of them. Because it doesn't go up or down anymore, does it? It just goes side to side? Okay. Alright, so what about my x values? Is that line going to go on forever? So we can just pick 5 values and go with it? Okay. So how about 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4? Is that good? Alright. So domain and range, okay? So let's talk about what domain stands for. What values are involved with my domain? X values, okay? What about my range? Y values. Okay, so if I'm looking at my x values, and my x values run left to right, right? Okay, so what x values are included in y equals 3? All of them, okay? So what's my first value going to be? Negative infinity, okay? And it goes where? To positive infinity, okay? We write our domain and range in interval notation, okay? Alright, so what about my range? Does it have more than one value? No. So I can just say that my range is 3. Alright? So, is this line that we're looking at, is it horizontal or vertical? Horizontal, okay? So we have a horizontal line. Alright, and what do you think the slope of this line is? Does it go up at all? Okay, does it go down at all? No, it just stays the same, right? So what could that slope be? 0. 0 is a slope. So our slope of this line is 0. Alright, number 2. Okay, it says, what do you think the line of x equals negative 2 would look like? So where am I going to plot my first point out on my graph? Okay. Alright, is it just going to go straight up and down? Alright, because I'm talking about my x values, right? And I'm way off. Okay, let's try again. Right, and it's going to extend forever, right? Okay, so Are my x values going to be different or the same? They're all going to be the same, right? And they're all going to be what? Negative 2. Okay? What about my y values? They're going to be different, okay? So can I choose any y value that I want? Okay? So let's go with 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so domain's talking about x values, right? And range is talking about y values. Okay, so what is my domain going to be? Negative 2. Why? Okay, it never moves. It just goes straight up and down, right? Okay, so what about my y values? Negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, so if we're looking at this line, have we created a horizontal line or a vertical line? Okay, we created a vertical line. And what is the slope of this line? Undefined. Okay, a horizontal line has a slope of 0. A vertical line has a slope of undefined. Alright, so how to remember everything about vertical and horizontal lines. Hooey books. Okay? I never learned this in school. I think it's kind of cool, but we just learned the rules. Okay? So your line type, which is your H and your V, what do you think H is going to be?
Horizontal.
Okay, so we're going to have a horizontal line. And what did we say the slope was? Okay, so the slope is 0. And what does the equation look like? Y equals something, right? Okay, so what about our vertical line? Okay, so our slope is undefined. And what does our equation look like? X equals something. Okay? Alright, is everybody good? Alright, let's move on. Oh, and by the way, y'all are the only ones that are going to be able to listen to these videos. Okay, it's not like every Algebra 2 class is going to be listening because y'all are on a different pace than they are. Okay, they're still taking their test today, so don't be afraid to participate because it's literally just the people in this classroom that are going to be listening. Okay, so who has heard of the parent linear equation? Okay, you're supposed to be taking. Okay, so the parent linear equation is f of x equals x, or y equals x. Okay, so what do y'all think that might look like on a graph? If y equals x, what would our slope be if y equals x? Where does our slope go in a linear equation? Okay, what is proper format for a linear equation? Y equals mx plus b. Okay, where does my slope go? M. Okay, so m is my slope, and where's my y-intercept? B. Okay, so does this equation have m or b in it? No. So is this equation a 1-to-1 ratio? Why wouldn't it be? If y is 1, x is going to be 1. If y is 2, x is going to be 2. If y is 3, x is going to be 3. It's our parent function, okay? So that means that this is what we build all of our linear equations on, okay? So it has no slope, it has no y-intercept. And by no y-intercept, I mean that it goes through the origin, okay? Because you don't have to write plus 0, all right? So our parent function is going to be, we're obviously going to plot our point here in the origin, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. And once I get all these dots drawn, I'm going to draw a line through it. All right? So this is our most basic linear equation, okay? So I just told you all a few of them, but now it wants us to fill in the table for y equals x. So, or f of x equals x. So what are my x values going to be? What are just pick 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so if we go over here and we look at our graph, what are our y values for x equals 1? What's our y value? 1. Okay, what's our y value for x equals 2? 2. What about 3? Okay, and then 4 and 5. All right? Is everybody understanding now? Okay. All right, so what are my domain and range for y equals x? Okay, negative infinity to positive infinity for just the domain or for the range too? The range too. Okay, so these arrows right here, oh, my bad. These arrows right here mean that this is going to extend infinitely. Okay, and if it is going at a one-to-one, if it's going at a one-to-one pace, it's going to eventually touch everything. All right? I mean, it went across this whole graph. So imagine if it just kept going and going forever, what it would do. All right? So let's get into the fun stuff. Remember this equation and its graph. Don't forget it. Okay? So, to produce all other lines, we can use the format y equals mx plus b. Where did you learn that from? You should have learned it in the 8th grade. Okay, that is the only thing I remember from 8th grade was y equals mx plus b. Alright? So, we said it a while ago, what does our m represent? Slope. Okay, and what does b represent? Our y-intercept. And does anybody know, it's kind of like a term that we use for slope. It's how we find it. Rise over run. Okay, so our rise is our x values. Our run
Is our y.
wrong. Our rise is our y values. Our run is our x values. Okay, so what about our y-intercept? We always look at our y-intercept first when we're looking at y equals mx plus b, right? And that's normally where we start our graph at. Okay, so that's where we begin graphing. All right, so number 5. It says graph f of x equals negative 2x plus 3. Okay, so where am I going to start? What's my y-intercept? Okay, so where am I going to start? I'm going to start at 0, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, don't forget that 0, 0 is your origin. Okay. All right, so if I'm going to start at positive 3, what am I going to do to get a slope of negative 2? Down 2 and over 1. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1. And we're just going to keep doing that until we're satisfied. We're going to bring it up some. Alright, now I'm going to draw my line, okay? And y'all's is going to be a lot straighter than mine, alright? I'll have this straighter by the end of today. Okay, so we're going to break down our function, and it wants to know what our y-intercept is. Y'all don't have to plot every single point. Just plot like 2 or 3 and then draw me a line, okay? Alright, so what is our y-intercept? 3. And our slope was -2. Okay, so what about our domain and range? Goes on forever on both sides, right? Okay, so our domain is going to be -infinity to infinity. And what about our range? Is it infinitely going to go up and down? Okay, so -infinity to infinity as well?
Yes.
Awesome. What time do we get out?
49.
49, okay. Alright, so give the equations for the following lines. Alright, so if I'm looking at the first one, what do you think my equation is going to be? X equals or y equals? Okay, y equals what? Y equals 2. Alright, so what would my domain be? -infinity to infinity. Alright, what about my range? It's just 2, right? Okay, so let's look at the second one. Alright, what would my equation be? Alright, well let's try to find our slope, okay? So we need to find 2 perfect points. Okay, so I found one here, and I found one here. Okay, and I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go over to the left 1. Okay, so if I go to the left, what does that mean? It means it's negative. Okay, so we know we're going to have negative. And what is 1, 2, 3 divided by 1? Okay, so my slope is going to be -3. Don't forget your x. And then what's my y-intercept? -3. Okay, so what are my domain and range? -infinity to infinity. And,
Same for range.
alright, so it's the same for both, okay? Alright, so let's look at the last one, okay? Let's find 2 perfect points, so somebody tell me what they are. Somebody tell me what a perfect point is.
0 and 3 -4.
Okay, so 0, 0, and 3, -4. Okay, so how am I going to find my slope? How am I going to find my slope? What is the term that we use? We're going to do our rise over run. Okay, so I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to run 1, 2, 3. Okay, so my slope is going to be positive or negative? Did I go to the left?
Yes.
Okay, so it's negative 4 over 3x. We don't have a y-intercept, do we? Because it goes through the origin? Okay. Alright, what is my domain and range? Okay, you have to speak louder.
-infinity to infinity.
Okay, -infinity to infinity.
Same for the range.
Okay. Alright. So, somebody tell me what the slope formula is? Nobody remembers what the slope formula is. Has anybody ever heard of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1? That's our slope formula. Okay? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? What?
You said over like that.
So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. I'm sorry, I was just trying to exaggerate it. So y'all can remember. Alright, so they give us an example and they give us two coordinates. Alright, and they want us to find the slope. Alright, so what is my y2 value going to be?
0 and 4.
Okay, so my y values are 0 and 4.
Values are negative 1 and 3.
Okay, so what's 0 minus 4?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. And what's negative 1 minus 3?
Negative 4.
Okay, so what is negative 4 divided by negative 4? Okay, so what is my equation going to look like? If my slope is 1, if my m is 1, what's my equation going to look like? X plus b. Okay? Alright, so 0 slope. Alright? We just talked about it. We said that one of our equations has a 0 slope and one of our equations has a undefined slope. Okay? So a 0 slope happens when your y values match. Alright? So let's do this one. Let's find the slope for this one. Okay, so what are our y values?
6 and 6.
Okay, so 6 minus 6, and our x value?
Negative 1 over and minus 3.
Okay, so what's 6 minus 6? 0. 1 minus negative 3? I mean, negative 1 minus 3. Okay, so anytime you have 0 as your numerator, your slope is 0. Okay? Don't forget that. Anytime you have 0 as the numerator, your slope is 0. Okay? So what type of line is this if it has 0 slope? It is a horizontal line. Alright, so what about undefined slope? Okay, so it's going to be our x values that match. Okay, and let's try to find the slope for this one. So what are our y values?
4 minus 8.
Nope.
8 minus 4.
8 minus 4 over negative 2 minus negative 2, which is negative 2 plus 2. Okay, so what's 8 minus 4? 4. What's negative 2 plus 2? 0. If you have 0 as your denominator, it is undefined. Okay? 0 as the denominator is undefined. Okay? So what type of line has an undefined slope? A vertical line. Alright. So 3 forms of linear equations. We have the slope-intercept form, okay, which is our y equals mx plus b. And we have standard form. Okay, so what do we think our standard form looks like? standard form is when your y-intercept is on the other side of the equal sign, and you have both of your variables on the right-hand side, okay, or the left-hand side. But both of your variables are on the same side. That's all you need to know for standard notation, okay? All right. So if I want to change these to slope-intercept form, what do I need to do? I need to get it looking like y equals mx plus b, okay? So what do I do?
And 3y.
Subtract 4x.
Okay, which way do y'all want to go? Which one's going to make it the most positive, where I don't have to divide by a negative? Okay, I can add 3y to both sides, because it doesn't specify which side y has to be on, does it? It could be on the left hand or the right hand side, as long as we switch it around at the end, right? It's not like an inequality where it changes the whole value of everything, okay? There's an equal sign, so everything is equivalent, okay? So I'm going to add 3y to both sides, so I'm left with 4x equals 6 plus 3y. Okay, what am I going to do now? Okay, we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. And now I'm left with what? 4x minus 6. Oh, I drew an equal sign. Okay, so 4x minus 6 equals 3y. Am I done? Do I have a coefficient in front of my y? Yes, then I'm not done. Okay, y has to be completely by itself. Alright? So, I'm going to move down just a tad. And I'm going to say that we're going to divide everything by 3. Alright, so divide everything by 3. Okay? Alright, and what are you left with? Y equals 4 over 3x minus 2. Okay? Alright, so let's change this one to slope-intercept form. Okay, so 5x minus y equals 3. So what am I going to do first? Okay, so let's add y to both sides. And what am I left with? 5x equals 3 plus y. Alright, now what do I need to do? Subtract 3 from both sides. And I'm left with y equals 5x minus 3. Alright, and we will pick up right here tomorrow. Okay, no homework tonight. We will not start the homework until we are completely done with the notes. Okay?